Warner Brothers Discovery is making big cuts, and AEW is just out here trying to duck under that axe.
Don't touch that mouse unless you're trying to subscribe. The next pro wrestling bit coming at you in 3, 2, 1.
Warner Brothers Discovery is making cuts like Packers' 4th-round rookie wide receiver Romeo Doubs in training camp. Like seriously, I hear his route running is so crisp, and he's been lighting it up in Green Bay. Christian Watson is going to be that guy, don't get me wrong, but don't sleep on Romeo Doubs, even as a rookie. I think this will be one of those rare years where Aaron Rodgers actually trusts his rookies. Because what's he going to trust, Sammy Watkins? Okay, I'm sorry. The season's a month away and I'm hyped. But back to these budget cuts. Warner Brothers Discovery plans to axe no less than $3 billion as part of a new regime since their merger. Batgirl is gone and nobody is safe. Though any real Batman fan knows that Batgirl is safe even after they killed the project because, hello, the Lazarus Pit, that Lazarus Pit brought back Jason Todd and Ra's al Ghul and the Joker and the Riddler and Bane and yes, Batgirl. So all these people freaking out about Batgirl, okay, I'll get to these budget cuts. Bring the beat back. Now, anybody under the Warner Brothers Discovery umbrella should be at least a little concerned. From the outside looking in, these budget cuts are bad news for AEW. Even before Warner Brothers Discovery's big earnings call this week, one of the first heads to roll under the new regime was staunch AEW supporter Bret White's. AEW was also nowhere to be seen at this year's upfronts after being the belle of the ball in years prior. AEW's biggest concern should be its forthcoming television rights deal, which is due in 2024. AEW will begin negotiations at a time where Warner Brothers Discovery is cutting back and less likely to spend on original programming. Back in April, Warner Brothers Discovery took a big ol' axe to scripted programming, which certainly didn't bode well for AEW. Even consummate AEW supporter Dave Meltzer is concerned, describing the cuts as not good news at all. When Dave Meltzer can't spin an AEW news story into a positive, it's time to start getting nervous. The only thing worse than AEW negotiating with Warner during mass layoffs and cutbacks is the fact that the whole world knows Warner Brothers Discovery is making these cuts. So any potential suitors for AEW, if there are any, are going to be incentivized to lowball AEW and do a deal at a discount. I cannot emphasize how important 2024 is to AEW. I don't doubt that they will get a deal, but getting a deal isn't the issue here. Getting a deal good enough to compete with WWE in free agency is. In addition to securing a big enough bag, AEW also has to worry about WWE becoming exponentially more attractive to all free agents almost overnight. With Triple H in charge, a bigger pool of free agents will feel like they can get over in WWE. That's the guy who booked a women's main event that sold out the Barclays Center. So AEW women will be interested. Triple H is a guy who essentially fathered Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano in NXT, so smaller wrestlers looking for a new baby daddy in Papa H will be interested. With all due respect to Tony Khan, Triple H used to be one of the boys in WWE, so former WWE superstars will be interested. AEW couldn't have picked a worse time or era to negotiate with Warner Brothers Discovery for its free agents. Seriously, they have the worst timing.
Why, hello there.
Oh, hey.
What you doing?
Nothing at all. I'm just over here talking.
Talking about what?
Nobody, really.
Okay, well, let me know if you need my help, or if there's anything that needs to be axed.
Will do, Michigan. Wow, that was close. Anyway, AEW should, at the very least, be a little worried. Now's not the time to be frogging around with...
Did somebody say my name?
No, God, no. Or at least I didn't hear it.
Okay.
Point is, TBS and TNT are getting an overhaul, and nobody knows what that will mean for AEW a year from now. Except maybe Tony Khan. Though he is known to have near Adderall levels of optimism, Khan has remained excited about his relationship with Warner Brothers Discovery. WBD executives attended the June 1st broadcast of AEW Dynamite in Inglewood, where there was even a party after. Yay! I hope there was carrot cake. Khan went as far as to describe the meeting as one of the most fulfilling of his life. Again, Tony Khan is an eternal optimist. It's actually one of the things I like about him. So if AEW's television rights come in a little low, or worse yet, they're looking for a new home in 2024, it wouldn't be the first time he let everybody down after a big tease on Twitter. Right, Christian? Shout out to him. But Tony Khan is closer to this situation than most, and despite the cause for concern that comes with massive layoffs, not only does Tony Khan seem unbothered, he seems bullish. I don't think Khan would have bought ROH without being confident he could find a streaming partner, and word on the street is that HBO Max, or whatever they end up calling it, is the leading candidate. Whether Khan knows something that we don't, or if he's just being that dog from the meme with a house on fire, is anybody's guess. History is not kind to professional wrestling in scenarios where new executives take over. This is part of what expedited the death of WCW, and executives like Bret White's, who really understand and support pro wrestling as an art form, certainly don't grow on trees. Despite what the higher-ups at Warner Brothers Discovery have told Tony Khan, I guarantee you there will always be executives who think pro wrestling is silly and will struggle to attract name brand advertisers. There will always be detractors of fake pro wrestling, but one of the most important arguments for AEW is how consistently it tops the cable ratings. Though numbers are softening year over year, AEW recently ended a 5-week streak as the #1 show on cable on Wednesday nights in the key demo. And they started a new streak, even with an unimpressive 938,000 viewers, down 15% from last year. Unlike the Warner Media upfronts, AEW was actually featured in a couple of slides during the recent Warner Brothers Discovery call. Another good sign for Tony Twitter fingers. Maybe AEW will be alright and avoid the acts of Michigan J. Frog altogether. He's gone, right? Okay, good. But budget cuts or not, AEW is gonna need big money in 2024 to hold on to its roster and compete with WWE. Will AEW survive the Warner Brothers Discovery budget cuts? Will they get the TV deal they're looking for? Tell me in the